I don't know very much about generated. This is a whole new life to me, you know? Like, learning what a trach is, I had no idea what a trach was. So now I'm learning all these new terminology, all these new things. It's just a whole new world. You know, but I want to know everything about everything. Like, I'm a sponge. Teach me all I need to know. Because the more I know, the better I can give him help and, care give. But also, I want to hire people 24/7. Like, that is my plan. Which, by the way, I'm talking about this publicly, but I give updates often about my husband, Marvon, in supporters. It's just a little bit different because, I had gotten off of social media for 8 months. When my husband first attempted, that's not something I said at all. That was not information that I wanted to give unless I had my husband's permission. That's very private, very personal. I didn't want to do that. But I had already been on social media for now. Today will be 6 years. Today's my anniversary for creating this page. But I've been showing my life. My husband has been on live so many times, especially for supporters. We would do videos all the time. So showing parts of my family that's nothing new. Like, I've always done that. But social media felt like they had a right to know about what was happening. And then, of course, there were people that were family members that they completely distanced themselves from Vaughn, and it went both ways. There was complete disconnect. And then these people really, it was bad. Let me not say these people like that, but it was bad. It was bad. And so there were hate groups that were created online, and people were taking clips of my videos and turning them around to really villainize me and try to pin what happened to my husband and put the blame on me. It was the most insane time. People are calling CPS, APS. They did a whole police investigation. There were Tucson PD coming. I mean, it was insane how much my family was affected by it. And these were family members that, listen, my husband had been dealing with seizures for 2 years, almost 2 years prior to his brain injury. And he's had 2 brain bleeds. He has had to flown out of town. And there was no support during that. Never, not one time did he get a phone call about any seizure. How are you doing? Nothing. Like, it was always, it's completely separate lives. And it was like that since he was younger too. So it's not a new thing. And, there was just a big, huge movement online to try to cancel me and try to get me locked up and blaming the most horrific thing. Then they were taking clips and also private, videos and recordings that I had sent to my friend at that time, because me and my husband in 2019, our marriage it was so bad, but I truly don't feel like it was because of me and him. I truly feel there were outside forces, more specifically the chiropractor that we were seeing at that time. Like, I think he was into some type of dark magic, and what he did impacted my family, like, completely. So 2019 was a very toxic year. A lot of people during that year was like, where's Marvon? Where's Vaughn? Why isn't he in your videos? Like, going on and on and on. And it's like, I didn't want to have my husband in my videos at that time because me and him were in a good spot. And what I'm not going to do is come on live and pretend like my life is something else that it's not. And so what people on social media did is they tried to make it seem like my life, that was my toxic life that was happening in 2019, is something that actually was happening like 2022, right before he attempted. That's so sick. That's so sick, because it's not even close to anything what my marriage was like. But how dare my former friend give such personal, videos and things that I've confided in her in to the public. That says a lot about her. And I don't even regret our friendship. I don't regret being her friend at that time, because I needed someone. And she was that person for me for a while. And I was that person for her. It wasn't just she was there to support me. No, I supported her too. And when her dog had passed, I made sure I sent a gift, checked on her, because that was her baby, So it's just sad that there wasn't a big blowout between me and her. There wasn't something big. Why I hadn't talked to her in years. So why she decided to come out of the woodworks and start giving these videos and information to other people who were online who did have it out for me. I mean, they were posting videos trying to get everybody to hate me of stuff that I did years ago. Like, what is the reason to post videos and clips of someone's past that they don't even do now? That's not something who they are. That's not even something that they would do again. Like, it's just, we've all made mistakes in the past. We've all done things that we shouldn't have. So why are my flaws and my, mistakes or things that I shouldn't have, why is that being blasted? And especially during a time where my husband is fighting for his life. Why is that happening at that time? It felt like an attack on Satan. And I've always been open. People would try to take old videos of where I'm talking about me being, a mom that I regret. And of course, and then also there were videos I had done many months back where I talked about, dude, like I could tell that I was the reason for one of my husband's seizures. And it wasn't in a way where, oh, you guys, I'm the worst person in the world. No. Why would I come live to talk about things that are bad about me or things that I don't like or things that make me shameful? It's because I have a big following. I have a massive following. Before I left social media, 620K followers on this page. And I get a lot of praises and I get a lot of people who speak positively about me. And although I really do appreciate that, thank you very much. I also don't want people to think that I'm like all big and holy and I am just this incredible person and nobody's like me. No. Whoa. It's important for me to let you know I'm not a perfect person, which is why I would talk about my flaws, which is why I talked about like, damn, I realized that, my husband, his seizures are primarily stress related. And I was able to identify something that I did or was doing that took him to that place. And that was a good thing. That was sad. That was not okay. It's sad what happened. But for me to come live and confess something, it's so that the audience can take something away, so that you can learn, so that you can know. And ever since that time, I remember it was September 3rd, I did that video because I will never forget that I vowed that would be the last time that me and my husband ever had a argument like that. And we never did. Any other time that we had a disagreement, we would talk it out, or we would have to wait until we were at a better mental place where we can understand each other. Because of that video and because I had realized something that I was doing that was hurting my husband, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that no more. I realized I'm accountable for that seizure and I take full accountability. And you know what? I saw something that hurts him and I'm not going to do that no more. And I want you guys to know also, so that if there's something positive you can take out of it, then that's what I want. But then people try to make it seem like this is who I am all day and this is how my husband, has to deal with me, and he would try to leave me. He did not try to leave me. We were in such a great place, minus 3 weeks before his attempts. Like, he was not in his right mental place, but he also suffered from seizures. And pre-seizure, I was there for every single seizure that he has ever had. There's nobody else in his family that has ever been there for any seizures. Nobody else has ever been by his side. And we were going to the hospital. It felt like at one point it was every 2 weeks to every month. And this lasted for almost 2 years. Not one person from his family went and sat at my husband's bedside. Not one time did anyone from my husband's family sit or even call to ask, hey man, I heard you having seizures. Like, that wasn't part of the support that Vaughn was receiving. So when this happened, my entire goal and intentions is to protect my husband and do the things that he would want. Do the things that I know that would please him and make him happy. And for me, when I first started talking about my husband's brain injury, it was because there was some really messed up stuff that was happening at the VA hospital, and Vaughn needed vegan food formula. And if he didn't have it, I felt like he could have declined even worse. And because of me being able to put it out there that I need it, I was able to give Vaughn vegan formula within like 2 hours. Even the doctors were amazed, But from there, it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell people what happened because that's not my business. That's his business. But also, that's really private. And then also, I haven't told my children. I'm not going to tell other people whenever at this point right now, like this is something that is affecting my children. This is their father. This is the man who's been raising them, Bella, since she was 7 years old, and she's 15 now. This is the man who literally took Raza out of me. I was pushing and Vaughn went and grabbed Raza and pulled him right out. And Vaughn delivered Raza. Like, we're such a close-knit family. And then people felt entitled to information that they had no right to. And so then there were people in the family that took advantage of this and really ran with it and started spreading lies and then making it seem like I'm just this horrible person who's just keeping them away and whatever. Like, it was bad. Now, whenever there was one time that, I had thought at one point that Vaughn's one of the biological parents was at the hospital. And I was like, oh no, call security. She knows she's not supposed to be here. Like, it was serious. And I was like, But then, like, as time went, like, maybe 20 minutes later, the nurse ended up telling me, oh, you know what? That's not his biological mother. That's his biological father. And I was literally sitting at his bedside. Like, I was standing up, sitting at his bedside, and then I literally collapsed like this, and I was holding onto the bed. And it felt like my breath that I felt like I could not catch. I finally was able to breathe again. And that's because that's okay. Like, Vaughn, that would be good for his dad to see him. So then I sent a text message with my phone. I text Marvon and I text the stepmom, and I sent them text messages from my phone, and I said, I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else. Please call me. If I knew it was you, I would have never reacted that way. I sent messages from my husband's phone. I sent messages through Instagram. I did not receive not a call back, not nothing, nowhere. It was clear that they did not want to communicate or speak with me. But he still got to see his son for like 5 days. So 5 or 7 days, I don't remember, but it was a long time. So I'm just like, why, if you came all this way and I'm telling you, I thought you were someone else, but like, I want to talk to you and now you don't want to have nothing to do with me. And then the very next day, I hear them talking trash in the hallways. Like, now they're talking about insurance. Now they're talking about what he owns. Now they're like, why would that matter? Well, I don't even know if my husband has life insurance. I know when he was in the military, he did, but I don't know if that transfers. I don't know if that still applies. I don't know nothing. But also, I don't care. Why would I be caring about my husband's belongings whenever he's in the hospital after what happened? It's a brain injury. Like, that is the last thing that should be on anyone's mind. So because of that, people still thought, oh yeah, I'm just trying to stop his mom from seeing it. No, but there was a whole nother topic. Like, that is a whole nother conversation in itself, about that. But then he didn't want to talk to me at all. And every time that I would see Vaughn after he was getting a visit, his heart rate would be elevated. He was not calm whatsoever. He was seriously stressed out, which was stressing me out because it's like, he is in a vulnerable spot, I'm glad that people want to be there now, but maybe when he comes out and there's not this type of trauma-related emotions attached, because when someone goes through trauma and they're really the person that's supposed to be in a certain position and they're not that's hurtful, that's hard. My husband has cried with me. I've held him in my arms about his situation and how he grew up. Why wasn't he good enough? Why is he the only one that wasn't raised in that home? This is something that I shouldn't have to talk about or tell social media, hey, you guys, like, I'm really not this evil person. Like, I've always wanted Vaughn's mom to be part of his life, part of my life, part of my children. I've always wanted that. She's made it very clear her position. And I'm not going to force my husband to have that type of energy around, all for the sake of the name being, with that title. My husband's mother is his great-grandmother, the one who raised him, the one who's on the birth certificate, the one who loves him. There was, now she's talked to Vaughn on the phone, and I told her, like, hey, I'm over here by Vaughn if you want to talk. So when Vaughn heard her voice, he literally had tears in his eyes. He had tears in his eyes. And I'm like, Grandma, like he's crying and blankety blank blank. And then she was like, oh, well, sugar, I don't want to keep, I don't want to disturb him, or I don't want to make him feel bad. Like, I will talk to him another time, So, you know what that made me think of? King Solomon from the Bible. If you are a Bible reader, you know this story. King Solomon, when he became king, he was known as, oh my gosh, yes, hashtag Jehovah Heal Von Shine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alyssa. Whenever King Solomon became king, he had asked for wisdom. And because he had asked for wisdom, Jehovah gave him wisdom and riches, because he chose that what he wanted would be knowledge to be able to better lead God's people, And so there's a story of two women who had babies, and they both slept, I guess. I don't remember exactly how long ago, they're going to have to tell me, but the ladies slept with their babies. One woman slept on her baby, made it suffocate, and it didn't live. The other mother, her baby was still alive. So the mother who had accidentally killed her baby took the new mother's baby and claimed that baby as her own. And so King Solomon was like, well, who's the mother? I am. And he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to take this sword and I'm going to slice this baby in half. Ooh, that's so hard. Maybe I should. That sounds really bad. It's in the Bible. And the real mother was like, no, please don't do that. No, let her keep the baby. And the other mom was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Do it. All for her selfish gain. And King Solomon was like, you know what? That is the baby's real mother. Because of her, she did not want to sacrifice his life. I see a very similar comparison, My husband's great grandmother is amazing. She's incredible. And I feel like I owe her the world for taking care of my husband when he had no one else. And not just taking care of him, but being a constant person. They've always talked on the phone. Vaughn and his great grandmother always spoke on the phone all the time. They have a great relationship. And there's so many videos where Vaughn talks about, that is my mom. There's not a lot of videos out there where Vaughn talks about his biological family. But that was an opportunity for them to blame me and act like they need help to take away my son. They need help to put me in jail, and they made a whole lot of money. None of it went to helping Vaughn and his expenses. The home that he was at, I spent $66,000 for him to be at that home. That's a whole lot of money. But on the other hand, I'm so glad that we saved money and that we had money in the bank for just in case. But it wasn't really just in case. It was, we're not big spenders. We lived in a manufactured home, our cars, we just had a newer car, but that was because the truck was breaking down. And the mechanic was like, I don't even think it's worth you fixing it, because the parts are going to be more than what the actual truck is worth. So we had to get a new vehicle. But other than that, we are not big spenders. So I am so glad that the income was there to be able to help take care of my husband. And now we are on a journey where the care home that he was at, and the only reason why he was in a care home was because I was in an RV, which there were people on social media who wanted to villainize me because how dare my children are living in an RV and they're going from Airbnb to Airbnb. Hold up. First of all, why are we going to knock a woman? What did you expect her to do? Oh, so all of this happened. Her life turned upside down. She should get a house immediately. She should not be living in an RV. Bro, what? I'm just glad we even had an RV. That, I'm just thankful that we were able to leave so soon. Didn't have to think about it. Grabbed our stuff and left and never looked back. And we've been by his side every single day since then. This whole time that since his brain injury, there's only 5 days. 5 days out of the, almost 10 months that I have not been by his side. That's it. 5 days. That's it. How hard I go for my man, bruh, the VA wanted them to pull the plug. And then I was hearing that members of Vaughn's family wanted that too, because the police wouldn't investigate unless something happened to him. I'm like, wait, what? Why would anyone? For what? I thought this was justice for Vaughn. I thought this was supposed to, give him a better life and give him the right. And now we're trying to take away his life. At what cost? For what? For what? Vaughn, within 4 days after leaving the VA hospital, got off the ventilator, ain't been back since. I said this man would heal, and this is exactly what he's doing. And then, shortly after, it took about a good month and a half, he finally opened his eyes. But when he opened his eyes weren't straight. I don't remember what they're called, but one would go this way, one would go that way. And that's exactly how his eyes were, like for a while. And then as time went on, they straightened. And now, Vaughn, his eyes are open. That man ain't no damn vegetable. Like, it's another thing. It's just like, bro, there are so many sick people on social media, because why would they want to claim DEATH on someone who ain't there? Like, he's not even close to being there. He's not even towing the line of DEATH. Like, he's nowhere near being there. Where he is at is where he opens his eyes, and I touch him and he moves. I can feel his energy. You know, biofeedback is amazing. So biofeedback, it's really hard. I'm not going to be able to describe it. But for the people that have been on my lives previously, and I talked about biofeedback, you want to know what Vaughn's emotions were today? His emotions were, how did it say? Laughter. What was his emotions? Emotions were being misunderstood and laughter. Those were his two emotions today. I'm like, laughter? Because the last time biofeedback was done, it said it was mental torture concealed from others. And you know what I think? You know why I think his emotions are like that? Because he's in that hospital. And because he is around people who do not see the value in his life and are wondering why he ain't a DNR patient. These are words that came out of these people's mouth. Why is he not DNR? And I'm just like, there's brain activity. You can see this man, like, he's clearly there. You know, he ain't where you would want him to be to call him certain things, but hey, it's a brain injury. I don't expect the man to recover tomorrow. I am okay with the time. When I decided that, no, you ain't gonna pull the plug over my dead body, and I meant that. You would have to hurt me to get to him, because I think the hell not. When I said no, I knew what I signed up for. I knew that it would be a roller coaster. I knew that there would be hospital visits. I knew that it would not be easy. And I still signed up for it anyways, because that's the love. That is my heart in a bed. That is my heartbeat in a bed. So February 10th, he got to the hospital because he was starved and deprived of water, and he was so dehydrated, he almost lost his life. And I told them, listen, this is my plan. I'm going to find a house. I want to bring him home. The people there, they've known me because this is his like 6th visit. You know, he went to the care home in August, and by February, this was the 6th time he's going to the hospital, which is crazy. That's a lot of times. And the majority of the times, none of it was his fault. It was because of other factors and other things that were coming to it, but it's not because his health is declining. And that's the thing, is that's why I can't give up, because even now he's in the hospital, and I'm going to be real, bruh. We had a meeting today and they did not say anything positive. It was bad. It was. And still, I appreciate the medical professionals being honest with me, letting me know what they see. I still rebuke it. I do not accept it. And that is not going to be his outcome. Point blank, period. We didn't come this far just to get this far. I'm going to bring my man home. He's going to get out of that hospital, and I am going to hire people that can help me take care of him home. And that's the only thing that I really, really need help with, is finding qualified caregivers who can assist me. Listen, now, if y'all know me, y'all would know I would never really talk like this, but I save money really good. So if I could afford $11,000 for Vaughn to be at that care home, I can afford for caregivers to be here. And I don't even have to pay my rent no more, because he was supposed to get out of the hospital, but they wanted him to go to a long-term care facility because of all the extra things that he has going on, et cetera, et cetera. I would be paying out of pocket because the VA don't cover it, because he doesn't have enough of a percentage, but also I make too much money. So where am I at? Where am I at? Making too much money, and it's coming out of pocket. Oh yeah. So the long-term care facility, there were 3 options. One place didn't get back to me, but the other 2, the first place, I would have to pay 1 month in advance. You want to know what that 1 month would be? $26,000. The other place, I would have to pay 2 months in advance. $52,000. Like, bro, what do I look like? I got like money made of trees? Like, what? Or it's coming from trees? Absolutely not. I would rather, because I got 5 dogs, it's going to be hard for someone to want me to live in their house, you know? I love social media because my job was to protect my husband and my children, and that's exactly what I needed to do, and that's what I did. So I left social media. I was like, bro, I'm good. Everybody acts like, oh, she's going to come back. She's so money hungry. She can't live without the camera. Everything that everybody said proved false. Oh yeah, she has a lawyer. That's why she's not here. No, I didn't get no lawyer, bruh. It was common sense to me. The internet done lost their minds. Ain't no business for me to be here whenever I need to protect my children and my husband. And people just think it's a game, like if I'm some type of cartoon character, as if this is not real life, as if Vaughn is not a father. He's a father to 3 children, dude. Like, the fact that, I was like, bro, I'm out. Goodbye. Bye. The only reason why I came back, I didn't even plan to, was because of what happened and why he's in the hospital now. You know, and now, oh yeah, baby, he is fighting for his life, yep. Now, he has declined since being there, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because if he would have been in a long-term care facility, he would already been transferred, and he would already, you know, but because he's coming home, there's these other list of things to do, and I totally get it. I get it. I just don't understand. If he came in the hospital on the 10th, why are we barely having a meeting today as to what needs to happen in order for him to come home? Why are we lagging? You know, and especially if the hospital doesn't understand why he's alive, why is he not a DNR? Why is he full code? Then why would it matter what home he's going to, especially if it's a home full of love? And this is not the first time I've been. Every single time Vaughn has been there, I've been at the hospital. Out of all these months, there's only 4. Was it 4 or 2? I don't remember. More recently, I didn't go to the hospital, but other than that, it is every single day I'm at his side. And I don't come on, like, bro, I was doing that when I was off social media. I didn't need nobody clapping for me. I didn't need anyone telling me what a good Wi-Fi was. No, my job is just to make sure that my family is cared for. And the benefit I get out of them is their being alive and having health. I don't think I was misunderstood. I don't think what happened on social media was a big misunderstanding at all. That was deliberate and intentional. People have had certain feelings about me, but there was no excuse for them to feel the way they felt, so they hid behind a veil. But then this presented a perfect opportunity to show those true colors, to act like I really did something detrimental, so that the sympathy of the public could be gained. And then people on social media who just didn't know me from Adam, but wanted to be relevant, so they had my name in their mouth. What you will never hear is me say any of these people's names. Like, I want to spit even just saying that sentence. Absolutely not. When I say I don't like drama, I don't just come over here and I show it through my actions. I'm not going to go back and forth with nobody. I'm 35 years old, dude. I'm 35 years old. And look at my situation. My husband is now bedbound. I got a big responsibility. And just because he's bedbound does not mean that, oh, I relinquish my vows, or it's no longer for better or for worse. No, I said what I said before God, and I meant it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. In sickness and in health, and death will never separate us or pull us apart, ever. Someone had asked me at the beginning of this, how do I keep it together? How do I... Number one, but I need to know I focus only on what I can control. The only thing I can control is the way that I respond to situations. And I kept that in my head. When all these things were happening, people were saying, I didn't let my husband see a doctor. I didn't let him be on any seizure meds. I feel like these people are making my husband seem like a child. That is a grown man. I do not control that grown man. That grown man, whenever you try to make it seem like it was my decision, you take away his own voice. Because those are his wishes. How dare anyone try to go against what my husband wants for himself? That is his choice, he made for him. And those were his consequences that he was okay with dealing with because it was his health, nobody else's health, not even mine. And what I'm going to do as a loving and supportive wife is, yeah, if he doesn't want to be on seizure meds, I support that because I know how I feel. And I know how I've been seeing what seizure meds do. Bella was on different seizure meds for 3 years before they finally were controlled. So if he's on seizure meds, or listen, that's why I went big into going down the rabbit hole regarding food and the effects that it has on our body. I really researched a lot because if he ain't going to take medication, then we need to come up with a plan B. What can we do in our personal life that is going to help him? So that's what I did. I started finding all these things that were beneficial. And people made it seem like I'm obsessed. Y'all, there is no way, what is obsession is people's view of me or people thinking about me. It's just weird because there will be some people that come on my page. It's like, it's all about you. All you do is talk about you. Well, who else would I be talking about? I don't keep anybody else's business in my mouth but mine. So, of course, I'm going to talk about me because I'm responsible for me and I'm accountable for me. And this is Slay with Dre McCray. This is not Slay with Dre McCray and let's talk about everybody else and what they're doing in their life. That's not what we do here. This is grown folk business. And the fact that I even have to say that because people don't get that is another thing that makes me feel like, bro, look at the world that we live in. Common sense ain't common. It's like, and it's one thing to oh, it's just not common sense. No, this lack of common sense, people are emotionally charged and they do stuff and they act on their emotions, which puts me and my family in danger. My children didn't get taken away. You know why? Because they have everything. And even in the worst position that could happen to my family, I still was able to take incredible and excellent care of my children. They never went hungry for nothing. They never missed a meal. They always had a roof over their head. And a big thing, I never rehomed any of our fur babies. And I feel like that's a big thing too. You know why it was so hard to get a place? Was because we got 5 dogs. Why would somebody want to give us that? That I understand the difficulty. There was even someone who said, good luck trying to find a place that's going to give you rent. I get it. I understand. So trying to find something was not easy. Oh yeah. So I only focus on what I can control. And listen, if I was able to look at all the lies people were saying, y'all, I could have went live and showed my husband's pill bottle and said, y'all, this is completely inaccurate. My husband was on seizure medication and here's his pill bottle. I could have easily done that, but nobody had a right to know what was happening in our life that we did not divulge. And another thing is, what's crazy is I did talk about how he was on seizure medicine. I did share that information on live. That is stuff that I said publicly. But you will not see other people taking snippets of those videos. They're not going to show you how I was by his side, how he was on seizure medication, how he talked about not wanting to go to the hospital. These were all words that he said. And I was okay with everybody villainizing me so that I could still uphold my family or my husband's wishes. Because anybody else can look bad on me, but it's not about me or how other people feel. That's my husband and his health, and nobody has a right to chime in with what he decides for himself. And then now me, as medical power of attorney, nobody else has a right to chime in as far as what happens in his care, when, where, why, none of that. And for people to even speak negatively, that's not a quality of life. He's a vegetable. First of all, vegetables are good for you. First and foremost, vegetables were created by God. So if they want to create a name for someone who is lifeless, you're going to have to pick a better name than that, sister, because vegetables, I like vegetables, okay? The God's creation ain't a problem with the vegetable. But that's not fun. Someone who's a vegetable is someone who is not aware, someone who's not alert. My husband is. And for people to still spread lies that he's brain DEAD, I just want y'all to know that reaping what you sow is real. Some people call it karma. I call it reaping what you sow. And there is nothing positive that you can reap by speaking death and such negativity on another man's life. How dare you? That's just, that's not something, That's also your business. That's also none of my business. The reason why I'm speaking about it now is because people have my husband's name in their mouth as if I can't have his name. There was a lot of other things. Okay, listen. He gave me his last name. I slept in the same bed with him for the last 8 years. So if anybody has a right to talk about my situation and my husband's situation, it's going to be me and my family. There is nowhere else on social media where you are going to get an accurate update. Every single person that has put out updates about my husband, it's all been speculation. Every single one of them. Not one person is going to have any information about my husband except for me. So let's keep that, let's just say that first, because that was another confusing thing, is that I would hear that there's a lot of videos being done with, creators on social media. Whenever these people don't have access to my husband, why are you going to go talk to somebody else? Why would you talk to somebody else that don't even know your son? She don't have access, he don't have access, these people don't have access, all these, and the people that wouldn't even, do interviews, people that would just take videos and they would see it and then they didn't know anybody from anything, but they wanted to say or create a video and tell everybody about this latest case. Let me tell you about the Marvon and Andrea McCray situation. You don't even know if it's accurate. And another thing is that at any point someone could have reached out to me, that the people that were only in it to cover it, nah. Someone could have asked me what my take is on it, and I would have been honest and real. And now the only way that you're going to hear about all the things that happened when I was off social media, and then also about the things that you are not aware of, that's going to come from me in my own time. Right now, my only focus is on helping my husband to know that as long as he's fighting, I'm going to fight. And listen, I'm not out here also just delusional, okay? Just because I disagree with the doctor's prognosis and diagnosis doesn't mean that I'm out of touch with reality. I know very well what the scans say. I know very well what the doctor was telling me today. There was no confusion in that whatsoever, but I rebuke it. I don't accept it, and that is not going to be our outcome or our life, period. My husband's going to make it. And when he gets home, if my husband can heal that much with only seeing me a few hours every day, can you imagine if he was here in this house, hearing his children laugh, hearing the dogs bark, smelling the food? Obviously he's not going to be able to eat it, but smelling the food. What? The best chance that my husband has is at home with the people that love him the most, for the people that's been by his side day in and day out, for the people that don't just write it off, with the people who are excited about the future. I wish that, and you know what? I do have great friends. Let me say this. I wish that there were more people that I feel like my children can communicate with. Because that's another thing. People try to make it seem like I'm this horrible mother. My children need to be taken away. CPS came in, they had to interview my children. The number one complaint that CPS was getting was that these children were malnourished. And I'm so glad that was the number one complaint, because when they walked up in my mama's house and they walked in my RV, they could see real quick. Do y'all know what malnourished is? Here's my ribs, your ribs, I'm trying to suck it in. Your ribs need, your bones, you have to be seriously without nutrition, and your health is at risk for malnutrition. My children eat all the time, and they have such good, nourishing foods. In fact, that's why it's hard for some people to consume gluten, because it messes up their body. But when your body's all jacked up, then your body is not going to absorb all the nutrients. So if your body is sensitive to gluten and you have all these other nutrients and vitamins, that's not going to soak up, because now your stomach is in bad shape. We wouldn't eat foods that would put our stomachs in bad shape. We avoided meat and dairy because it was acidic, because it drops the alkalinity of the body. Our blood, if we have a pH level of 7 and above, or above 7, we are alkaline. When we are below 7, we are acidic. And your body can host diseases, illnesses, sicknesses in an acidic body. It is not possible for you to be healthy in an acidic body. But if you raise the alkalinity of your body, then you cannot host these diseases and illnesses and sicknesses. It's really basic. And mucus is the number one causing thing of illnesses. When you consume mucus, it gets into your body, your bones, all the things, and it makes you sick. Mucus in your bronchial tubes is bronchitis. Mucus in your joints is arthritis. I'm not out here just following some random diet. I've done my research, and I know what I'm doing for my family. And a lot of people are saying, oh, you're different than before you left social media. Listen, my core, who I am, the crazy, loud Latina Mexican that people want to make it seem like I carry a knife. My husband was threatened. What? Not at all. But you know what my husband loved about me? That I was outspoken and I wasn't afraid to speak my mind. He loved that about me. He loved that I was so strong-willed and that I was a dedicated mother to my children. When my husband met me, I was on food stamps, government insurance, I was a single mama, and I just got divorced. I was living on my own for like 3 years and legally just got divorced. And less than a month later, I met Vaughn. And he saw my heart, you know? He didn't see that I'm on all these things. He saw that I am a mother, the way I am mothering my children. And let's talk about this real quick. Isn't it interesting how what attracted him the most to me was how I mother my children? Because he had never seen a mother do that. What if that was a bit healing to him? Knowing that there are mothers that are like that. That there are mothers that can be something that he didn't have. Wouldn't that, like for me, when I speak to my children or when there's certain things or the way even disciplining them, even when I discipline my children, it's in a loving, respectful way. And if it's not respectful, then we have to reconvene and we have to talk to each other when we're in better, moods or attitudes. But even then, I apologize to my children. I let them know when I do wrong. I let them know, you know what, I shouldn't, this was not okay. It doesn't make sense for me to yell at you and tell you you need to respect me because I'm yelling at you. That's not respectful of you either, and I am sorry. That's what I do. When I do wrong, I apologize to them. When I do wrong to my husband, I apologize to him. I shouldn't have to come to social media and tell everybody, oh yeah, all those arguments that you guys have seen and heard, we already apologized, we already worked it out. That was 2019, that was years ago. What? No, that's what I'm not gonna do. And I didn't, and I stayed away until now. And now, the reason why is because boo-boo. I just spent a lot of money these last almost 10 months. And you know what everybody's telling me is, talk with someone who can manage your assets so that you can get to a place where you can have insurance. Good job. Look at my daughter just made a purse today. Dude, this looks like it could be like the back of jeans. Right? Look at the purse that she made, dude. I love it. You're welcome, baby. So, right now we got 1.4K. The bad videos had way more views. Way more views. You know why? Because there's going to be more people surrounding someone's demise. There's going to be more people surrounding people's tragedy instead of people cheering you on. Instead of people wanting to see the best for you. Instead of people, rooting for you. You're going to see all these people who want to see you go down. And how dare anyone try to villainize someone at such a critical time? And then there was a rumor that was put out that my husband lost his life. You know how many people hit me up? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, oh my goodness, if you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously, I know everybody who's listening to loud people, obviously, because at what point should you believe anything, what anybody says about Vaughn but me? Like, it's just weird. Especially that people don't know me, don't know Vaughn. Like, how would they have any type of, when people are trying to make it seem like I'm messy and I'm all these, bruh, no. My actions spoke louder than my mouth could ever. And I stayed away from social media and I was like, bruh, bye. I'm gonna buy my own damn ambulance. I'm gonna buy my own van. And it's not because I'm gonna put out a GoFundMe or ask people to please give me money. I have people who want to tip me. I am Miss McCray. My last name is McCray. I took that man's last name proudly, happily. And so as long as he is here fighting for his life, I will be as well. And if people ask for updates, y'all can send them my way. Go watch Slay with Dre McCray. I ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna run me off the internet this time, boo. Because now I need the money. I do. I can't go buy an ambulance or a van right now. Maybe before I got this house, sure, but now I got this house. I paid my rent for 12 months. We're good. So I need to, that is my next goal. But what you are not gonna see is me not fulfilling what I have set out for my husband. What you guys are gonna see and continue to see, you guys should already feel like you've witnessed a miracle. Even though you don't see Vaughn, like, bro, he has big, beautiful eyes. And he opens them right up and looks at me. This is still my work, you know, this is still something that's going to bring an income and something that's going to directly benefit the people that claim they care so much about Vaughn. Okay. So let a girl work. Okay. We gonna work. We gonna do what we do. Okay. And I'm also not going to hide my loudness, my craziness. You're going to get all of that. When I'm cooking in the kitchen, you're going to see my knife swinging because that's me. That's what I do. Nothing that anybody said changed what I do and who I am. So who I was before I left, that's who I am after I came back. The core values, what makes me me, is never going to change, and I will never change who I am for anyone else. If I change, it's going to be because I need to be a better mother and because I need to be a better wife, and I'm always working on those things. So, anyways, that's all I got to say. Bye.
I would like to thank you for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and ring the little bell. I will see you next time.